Welcome to World Transits Today. I'm Art Granoff. February 21, 2023. Here's our horoscope. And today on World Transits, we feature Moon Menu, Moon with outer planets this week. Mercury conjunct Saturn, then Mercury, Saturn, Uranus. Venus, Jupiter, Neptune conjunction, and Sun square Mars. Welcome to Moon Menu this week. Consult Moon Menu for specific days for activities. Great for planning a session. Or this week, 21st, we've got the Moon with Uranus, Moon with Neptune and Pluto, little me with the 3 outer planets. Good day for journeying. Then midweek, Moon with Saturn and Moon with Pluto. How much intensity can you take? Then later in the week, it's Moon with Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. The cosmic all-access pass. What are you doing this week? February 20th, Mercury conjunct Saturn. Mercury with Saturn is mentally on track or not. Intelligence based on a system. The official report. The owner's manual. The Proclamation of Purpose, the U.S. Constitution, or The Archetypal Universe by Ren Butler, or lack of information regarding the Ohio train wreck full of deadly chemicals, poisoning air and water in that community. Mommy, why is the water glowing? What are the causes? And who is technically Mercury responsible? Saturn. The incredible allegations by Seymour Hersh, Pulitzer Prize-winning reporter, that it was the United States who blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. The New York Times, Washington Post, and Wall Street Journal haven't carried a single article devoted to the story. What does that tell us? Also, Mercury-Saturn. President Biden travels to Ukraine, communicating Mercury, the commitment Saturn, through increased arms donations. Let's assume President Zelensky got a pep, Saturn, talk, Mercury from Biden. Remember, Saturn strengthens with relief or tightens excessively till we're hurting. And Mercury will consider anything. The shadow expression is restricted or lost information or communications, mental confinement through harsh doctrine or precedent, religious indoctrination. Here's a couple of Mercury-Saturn people. Stanislav Grof, with Mercury opposite Saturn in his chart. Stan as intellectual giant, his rediscovery of the inner healer or inner healing intelligence. His coining the term holotropic, moving towards wholeness. His discovery of the perinatal and the 4 perinatal matrices. Holotropic breathwork, the non-drug way to explore your psyche. And it's Stan who recommended the term transpersonal psychology when speaking about experiences that are larger than oneself. Stan's the author of many books. His latest is a 2-volume encyclopedia, The Way of the Psychonaut, the complete psychedelic manual. And if you want to understand the origins of archetypal astrology, read the epilogue by Rick Tarnas. Please welcome Professor Longhair. Know him? Henry Roy Bird, born December 1918. Professor Longhair, or Fess for short, was an American singer and pianist forming New Orleans blues. He was active in the heyday of early rhythm and blues, and then later traditional jazz after 1970, with the founding of the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival, on today. His piano style has been described as instantly recognizable, combining rumba, mambo, and calypso. Blues journalist Tony Russell, in his book, The Blues, wrote that the vivacious rumba-rhythmed piano blues and choked singing style of Fess were too weird to sell millions of records. He had to be content with siring musical offspring who are simple enough to manage that, like the explosive Fats Domino. He's also acknowledged as a father figure by players Alan Toussaint and Dr. John. And here's Professor Longhair's chart with Sun conjunct Mercury. His mind and identity merged together in a trine with Saturn, a form to fill. His distinctive style of piano playing was influenced by learning to play on an instrument that was missing some keys. He intelligently, Mercury, made it with what he had, Saturn. Professor Longhair inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame 1981. In 1987, he received a Grammy Award and was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1992. I'll leave links to his playing below. And here's my hat from New Orleans, Pet the Cat Crew, and shout out to Joe Perez, R.I.P., creator of Pet the Cat Crew. Let's add Uranus. Mercury, Saturn, Uranus, from February 20th to 27th. 1 week of Mercury, Saturn, Uranus. A juicy week for individual or personal learning, teaching, or communication. Mercury, Saturn, stay the same. Mercury, Uranus, what's new? Leaning this way or that, or both. Saturn holds on, while Uranus lets go. Saturn is bound to custom, religion, law, the United Nations. Uranus is free from that custody. Mercury, Saturn, the U.S. rules-based international order. Follow or you're crushed. Mercury, Uranus, the group of countries resisting U.S. pressure, lighting a fresh path for their own concerns. Even closer to home, Mercury, Saturn in our life, in any pursuit or idea, remaining the same, satisfied with what is, or Mercury, Uranus, open, leaning on fresh, new, climbing out on a limb. It may not work, yet I have to try. Venus, Eros transits, still going. February 15th through 27th, it's Venus, Jupiter, Neptune conjunction all week. Big Jupiter with heart Venus, with optimal Neptune, a giant libation or hearty drink. Venus, Jupiter, Neptune shadow. Too much of everything just ain't enough. Then just Venus, Jupiter for a couple of more weeks. Big heart, enlarged Eros, Tom Collins or Mr. Johnson, the plush hotel suite in Denver this June. Mile High Hearted, the gracious lover. Feeling good and sloppy, Venus love, Eros with Jupiter extended on Neptune, the transcendent, or the shadow expression. These planetary archetypes may team up all on their own without our permission, squashing our vitality, rendering us too emotional, weak, or full of ourselves, wondering why everyone is offering lots of Jupiter, compassion, Neptune. And February 27th, Sun, square Mars, identifying with force, bull in a china shop, the bulldozer or ultimatum. Sun, Mars, great for work, doing stuff with strength, muscles, and sweat. Exercise, sports, make it personal, or my strong will busting through yours. Get out of me way, mate. And before we go, here's some upcoming conjunctions for March and April of this year. We notice we've got Sun with Neptune coming up. Mercury with Neptune, Sun, Mercury, Neptune, all through March. Very nice. We have Mercury with Jupiter and Venus and Uranus coming up. Wow, that's pretty nice. We have the Sun with Jupiter, the end of March. Mercury with Uranus in April. Sun, Mercury. But that's not all. We've got some more transits. We've got Sun with Mars, I just mentioned. We have Venus with Pluto coming up. Mercury with Pluto. Venus with Pluto and Saturn in early April. Look at that. Sun square Pluto through April. And Venus with Neptune towards the end of the month, early May. Thanks for joining me on World Transits today, everybody, covering the current world transits with an eye on the future. Watch World Transits at my site, Reference Astrology. Hear the audio version at Apple Podcasts. Contact me directly at Reference Astrology for a birth chart and transit reading, where we explore the planetary archetypes. Place them on your chart, revealing your personal transits to see what's up for you.